What is up, guys? I got another recap coming to you. As you can see, here we have taken out OneHive, the infamous OneHive, or famous OneHive, I guess. Infamous would be sort of a bad thing. Very good war all around. It was our weekend arranged war here, and we did really well. That's really all there is to it. Just gonna take a minute, gonna go ahead and get my fanboy out and say big shout out to OneHive. They've been such a big inspiration to really all of the war community. Whether you like them or not, you have to admit they have been an absolute crucial part of getting the fair play community up to where it is and really pushing this game, keeping this game alive. I know Supercell's kind of dicks to y'all, but still, I mean, very, much respect to OneHive. I think most people, even the ones who are hunting y'all, still have a lot of respect for you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hunting you, right? But anyway, so you can see, just looking at where we are, they were able to clear all the Town Hall 9s decently easy. I think they had 5 extra hits or something like that. I forget. But that's the number we're going to go with. Left Red Cloud here with 93%. And just could not get it done on some of the higher Town Hall 10s, which really had a lot to do with their Town Hall 11s dipping. We only had one Town Hall 11 triple, but our Town Hall 10s were just on fire this war. Town Hall 9s were cleared, obviously. I think we actually had 8 extra hits, which is really big. Was able to be able to take out the 9.5s and give us some very good scouts up top as well. But as you can see, we were able to take out, the lower Town Hall 10s with our lower guys, and the mid Town Hall 10s with our higher guys, and we were even able to take out some of their higher Town Hall 10s with a Town Hall 11 and one with actually one of our lower Town Hall 10s. So actually very cool thing right there, and that one is actually going to be the feature of the focus of a Town Hall 10 video coming out here soon. So make sure, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go and subscribe so you can watch that one. Going to be a very cool video of how we took it down and how we kind of tweaked our plans each time. But anyway, going in and starting the recap, we're going to start down here on number 8. We have Stingray going in, doing a Queen Walk. Basically a Queen Walk GoVaHo, but really it's a Queen Walk VaHo. And I've said this a lot to my clanmates, and I'll say it here too. If you don't need a Golem, don't bring a Golem. That's simply all there is to it, right? So basically, if you don't need the Golem to make a funnel, there isn't any reason to bring a Golem unless you have like 4 point defenses on him right at the beginning. The reason I say that is because the Valks are going to run out in front of the Golem, very quickly, and it's going to end up not doing very much for you at all. So just don't bring the Golem. Just use your King to do the initial tanking, and use your Valks and a couple Wizards or something to make the funnel. But anyway, he's going to start his Queen Walk over there on the southwest side. He's basically waiting for the CC to be lured right here. Going to drop that poison down. That's going to cover the Hound and the Loon, making sure the Loon is not going to drop on the Queen there. As she takes down that Hound, the Loon goes down to the poison. Once that's down, he is going to send in just one Giant. That's all he needs. Doesn't need a Golem, just one Giant to make the funnel. Gonna get that Wizard down. Could have got his Valks down a little bit quicker to potentially save that Wizard, but obviously it did not matter. The Valks do sort of split right here, which is a little bit awkward. As you see, it's the difference between 2 hits and 3 hits. They absolutely rip through walls. Gonna get that heal down. I think the heal could have been further back, and the rage could have been more in front. But as you see, it really does not matter, as they're just going to path through the Queen really easily, continue working through this base. Hogs are all going there on the northeast, just taking out those point defenses they encounter, as they're, pretty well tanked by the Valks and the King right there. As the Queen is still doing her thing down there on the southwest, taking down those exterior point defenses, and that Archer Tower is going to have to burn her ability as she's pushing through this wall right here. But as you see, those Valks are very nicely still converged right there with the Hogs, pushing through that last Inferno Tower. And as you see, the Hogs are essentially tanking for his Valks right now, which is typically not, not what you'd expect, but it's going to end up being huge for him, as the Valks are still able to stay alive through the Inferno Tower. Queen is going to be able to take out all those interior buildings right there, as those Wizards are all streaking around the outside up there from north to west, doing their thing. Queen is going to bust through a wall right here to be able to take down that Elixir Collector rather. But, I think the Wizard still would have had it. I think he still had 10 seconds or so when the raid ended. So, but still, a very pretty raid there to Stingray, taking out number 8, Rob. Next attack, we are going down to number 9, where we have MrTeaa doing a Queen Walk GoVaHo. And MrTeaa is basically going to start his queen walk, a very similar style raid where he's going to wall breaker in right here. He does drop those wizards around to make the funnel. He does drop some hogs, and I'm not really sure the point of the hogs, to be honest. I guess just to make sure the queen didn't continue walking around due to that archer tower. But, you know, better safe than sorry, so what can you do? Queen getting shot by the king right here. Going to drop that poison down and go and drop a rage down. She does almost die, but of course she doesn't die. She is going to take out this elixir storage and continue walking. Does have 2-point defenses on her here. Or actually 3-point defenses, rather. Now 4-point defenses on her, which is quite a bit, as she's going to hit a wall instead of continuing walking. So absolutely 100% not what he wanted. But it ends up going to be working out for him, as he's going to send in his Valks. Does send a couple of Valks shopping, but no, not too terrible for him, as they're going to continue working around and help with pathing with the other Valks. Those Valks going down. His queen is going to die right here with 2-point defenses on her and the Lava Hound. But those Valks are doing a pretty good job there, taking out that Inferno Tower, busting that wall. King is very, very late. I'm 100% positive that was not meant to be. But those Valks are going to push the base right here. The hogs are going down, and really this is going to help his Valks out more than anything. It's kind of interesting. He's using hogs to help Valks instead of Valks to help hogs, as he's going to drop that jump down, keeping all the Valks together right there, as they're going to path together just through this last Inferno Tower. And frankly, that healer is doing a lot of work, as they're going to push this double giant bomb right here. No more Inferno Towers up, no more air defenses up. That healer's going to stay alive the whole time to keep his Valks alive, as they're going to push the rest of this base, taking out those last point defenses. Does still have that one little compartment down there in the southwest, but it is going to be okay, as his king and Valks are still alive, pushing through the rest of the base right here. Plus, look at that wall breaker. That was beautiful. That wall breaker was very beautiful, taking down that wall, getting a little extra half second or whatever, as he's able to get this 3-star. So very pretty attack there. Well, very good attack by MrTeaa. It wasn't pretty. Don't get me wrong. It was not pretty. Anyway, going down, I'm going to skip this one. This one's also going to be on that Town Hall 10 video. But going down here to 11, we're going to have Variablistic going in, doing a queen walk GoVaHo. And as you see, he's just basically going to start his queen over, on 4x. He's going to start his queen over there on the west, continue walking her up around to the northwest over there. She's going to be able to pick off these point defenses, and once that cannon is down, going to drop the Golem, and essentially is going to be bringing in his queen with his Valks right here to be able to push through this Inferno Tower. Like I mentioned before, doesn't need a jump. The Rage is going to be plenty to be able to let these Valks push through and get through this wall. Is being a little bit slow on those Valks for whatever reason, but it doesn't really matter. He is just losing his healers to the air defense right here. Gonna get that Rage down, and that's gonna cover them through the wall. Some of them do go over that mortar, but it's not enough that's gonna really matter. They're pushing through the base really easily. Gonna take down both those Inferno Towers under Rage. Does have a heal for that backside, which is gonna cover them while they're on walls, which is really big because they're gonna be sitting on their walls about half a second longer than they would be if there were no walls. Probably a full second, I guess. But that's going to be huge, because that's going to give them, you know, a quarter extra health or so, as they are pushing through right here. Do hit a giant bomb down there in the southwest, but it is going to be enough Valks to be able to take down those defenses, as the king and the queen are able to work around. He does still have a CC full of hogs too at this point, so he's going to send those in on the northeast cannon to be able to path through the cannon, wizard tower, Tesla, etc. down there on the east side, and continue pathing around to be able to take down the rest of this base. And he does have a heal for them as well. So very late on the hogs, knowing that he had a heal for them, but still, it ended up working out for him very well, as his queen is able to stay alive. King does die, unfortunately, but it ends up not really mattering, as the hogs and the wizards are all going to converge down there on the southwest side, and eventually meet up with the queen once she finishes beating through a wall. But very pretty attack there to Variablistic on Pero. Next attack, we're going to come down... we're going to skip this one. This one was Hockey's actually fresh triple attack here on 12, which is very impressive. But we're going to show this one, because this one just looked prettier. Because, you know, a fresh triple never looks good, right? Queen going to go down right there. Going to basically walk there from the west side up to the north. Going to fast forward just a little bit as she's pushing through here. Oh, she might actually come down to the south. Nope, he's going to wall break her in right there. Okay, so wall breakers go down. She's going to continue pushing around, going to take out the arch tower and cannon and air defense, and continue working her way around. Going to get the CC lure as well, and be just out of range of the Inferno Tower. And he's actually going to wall break out with her as well, which is sort of a, you know, almost old meta at this point approach to be able to take down Town Hall 10, but it obviously works out for him. And he doesn't have max wall breakers, which is a little bit unfortunate. It would have been... I know it's not the most powerful upgrade at Town Hall 10, don't get me wrong, but for a fair play guy, it very well might be the most beneficial because it's a little less to worry about. You know, you get enough things to worry about during the raid. It's nice to not be able to, or not have to worry about wall breaker fails due to bombs. That really is a very nice thing as a weight off your shoulder. But as you see, Golem going up here on the northwest side, about going down, be able to take out the last of these little buildings right here. Does have one Valk going shopping, but you know, not really a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, as his queen is still working her way over there. All the Valks going in. Once again, not gonna use it. Not gonna use a jump to get inside. You don't need it. The Valks are gonna push their way through. They're gonna push through those Expos, push through the Inferno Tower. Gonna drop off freeze on that one. Honestly, probably didn't need it. Could have just brought another rage or a heal. But they are going to push through and be essentially completely healed up. Queen, the queen is still alive, actually. Sorry, she came all the way around. But, you know, the Valks are still alive right here. They're pushing through. Look at them. They're green. The Valks are green. 72% of the base is done, and the Valks are green. And he has Hogs in the pocket. He's taken out 76% of the base before he sends in the Hogs. So they're all going to go in right there, just sending them on those exterior point defenses, just 3 on each, and they're going to push through, be able to take down the rest of this base, barely keep the queen alive as she's pushing through that wall. And look at all those Valks. Absolutely insane how many Valks are still alive. But it's, you know, he didn't need the Hogs. That's all I have to say about it. It was a very beautiful attack here to Hockey. Very cool attack. That's why I showed this one instead of the fresh one, because it was amazing. Next attack, we're actually going to come down to the Town Hall 9s, and of course we have to show Jake being taken out here by Jimbo. And Jimbo going in here as a Town Hall 9, taking out a 9.5. Just doing a little GoVaHo right here. And actually, this is something that a guy in our clan named Anvil likes to do, is he puts just one healer on the Golem, and it's sort of like bringing half a healer, or half a Golem, right? It's going to let him push a little bit further into the base, because it's going to let him make a longer funnel, and still have the Golem be alive. And more importantly, look at it. That healer is on the queen right now, right? Oh, shoot. I paused it. Healer's on the queen right now, getting her full health. Once everything's pushing in really nicely, he's going to send in all the Valks. Taking his sweet time. Very lucky they didn't shot, but as you see, absolutely huge funnel down there in the southwest. All the Valks are going inside, going to take out 2 of those Expos, or I guess both the Expos, as he's going to send in a couple little Sprinkle Hogs down there on the southwest, and watch this, 2 Hogs. 2 Hogs would have tripped that double giant bomb. Didn't matter though, because the Golem's able to take it out. That healer did, of course, die, but look at that. The Hogs are pathing around so beautifully here, and all the giant bombs have been negated. There's one on the west side that the queen was able to negate, and look at that. The Hogs just don't have to even worry about it. They're just going to be healed up into these last point defenses, and then he's not going to have to even think about his Hogs to be able to take out this cannon, and archer tower, and backside Tesla, because there's no bombs down there that he's going to hit. So they're going to path back very nicely to take that out, as his wizard is working around there on the west, or the east side rather, and his queen is working around on the west side, and they're all just going to work their way back up north to be able to get the rest of the space cleaned up. And really a pretty hit here from Jimbo. And I mean, I think it was like the 5th or 6th hit on Jake's base, but still, I mean, that was a beautiful attack there by Jimbo. And next, coming down to OneHive Sam, we have Wiggum going in, doing a fresh attack here, doing a GoVaHo. And he's going to send in that 1 loon just to be able to take on that mortar, just to make sure that his Golem is not going to go around right here. And making a little funnel right there. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that army camp down. You'll see that ends up affecting him as his Valks go in. Does have a wall breaker split right there by dropping them directly on that dark elixir store or drill, instead of dropping them sort of in the alley between them. But as you can see, it's not going to really matter that much, as all his Valks are going to go down and be able to bust the wall. The only unfortunate thing is that he's not going to have as good of tanking on the back side, as his Golems are not going to be out in front for as long on the Valks. And as you see, 3 Valks do go around right there. Poison goes down for the CC. The Valks are just going to rip through those really easily, getting through. There's a Tesla farm right there that the Valks are going to rip through as well. and then they're going to take the jump to get through the enemy queen. Most of his Valks are dead by this point, but he does still have both hero abilities and 2 heals for those hogs. He just sends in some sprinkle hogs up there on the north side to be able to take down some of those point defenses, as the golems, or golemites, go up there and trip a giant bomb, which is very, very lucky, let's be honest. And some hogs all going down there from the south side. And look, he still has 2 hogs, 2 heals for the hogs. Does have some skellies on the hogs, but they're going to be able to take down these last expos and continue working around. Going to get that heal down to cover that south, or that west side rather. And basically going to keep them entirely alive through this point, through that expo. Does have 1 more poison to cover those skellies, which he hasn't dropped yet, but they are going to path through pretty nicely. Does hit a giant bomb right there. Doesn't really matter though, as you can see, as he's now tripped all the giant bombs passing through, as the hogs are going to path through the rest of this base, taking out the rest of the defenses for a very pretty 3-star, very pretty fresh 3-star here from Wiggum, as everything is continuing to work around, getting the rest of the cleanup done. But still, very cool attack there to Wiggum. Beautiful stuff, even with a wall breaker fail. Next attack, we're going to come all the way down here to 21, where we have James going in, doing a Penta LaLoon. That's right, folks, it's still around. He's basically just going to make free funnels up here on the north side and the east side while he starts his Penta LaLoon. As you can see, the lava hounds and the loons are going to be able to path all the way around without ever touching the queen and the king. So they're just going to keep doing their thing, working around, just going to basically put haste to cover these outer compartments right here, and just keep pushing the loons through. Unfortunately, it doesn't get that sweeper down, which is sort of weird. I don't know really why the loons decided to ignore it, and this loon is going to die right here before it's able to take it down to the queen, but it doesn't really matter. Haste continuing to push through. Does have another rage to cover that Tesla down there and the expo. Gonna drop that down. Did have a hound pop a little bit earlier than he wanted to. I would have already had the other hound down right now because you've already gotten through 50% of the base. There's a very good chance that that hound is not going to pop, but as you can see, it does end up working out for him as they're continuing to push through. Look at all those pups alive as well. Those pups have just basically, you know, the loons and the lava hounds have been pushed forward in front of them to make sure there's no traps there, and they're just going to keep on working around the base. That's really all they're doing. The heroes are going to go down right there, taking out that Tesla and Archer Tower. A little bit late. I don't think he wanted to be so late on the heroes. But as you see, the queen does get locked on the lava hound. Basically full health lava hound at this point, as it is going to almost pop it. Unfortunately, it does not pop it, but does have a wizard and some minions up there on the north side getting out those last buildings, as his pups are all working around right here in the southwest, taking out the rest of these buildings, and his heroes are still alive and going to go ahead and swag that queen ability right there, right at the end. And just a beautiful attack. A very nice job of recognizing when the Penta is going to work, and very pretty attack here from James, so very nice. And for our last attack, we're going to come down to 29, where we have ShyGuy. And ShyGuy is just going to do a little stone GoHo right here. I mean, it's obviously a classic time-tested attack. I'm just going to drop him down, make the funnel, and send in your kill squad, send in your hogs. That's all there is to it. These attacks still work, and they still work very well. So you also might notice, look right here, look at his wall breakers. No wall breakers, just going to bring the jump. So jump goes down, a couple sprinkle hogs go down as well to help out those golems. That hog has a sliver of health right there as it moves back out of cannon range, so very nice that it's able to do that. It continues pushing through. This was a fresh hit, by the way, as well. So as they're pushing through right here to that eastern compartment, he does accidentally trip a Tesla farm as well that he wasn't really prepared for, but he is going to send in some hogs to be able to get through it. As you see, he sends in 2 hogs right there, realize it's an actual Tesla farm, so he's going to send in the rest of his hogs, not the rest of them, but you know, a few hogs over there to get them down, as the king and the golems are currently distracted. Not going to get through that middle compartment. He is actually relying on his golems and his king to bust through there to get to the queen, which is pretty interesting. But as you can see, since there are no real point defenses down there on that south side that can reach his queen, it is going to work out in his favor, as the king is being a little bit stupid right there, going for the gold storage, and the golem does redirect at that point as well. Fast forward just a little bit while they're pushing through walls. As the queen's going to bust that wall, it really just needs her ability to take the enemy queen down, as she's also able to take the double giant bomb threats as well. So very pretty the way she goes down, the hogs are all going in, pathing around, just basically working around that queen side, which is very rarely laden with very many traps. Very good job of recognizing, that. I mean, that's done a lot. Don't get me wrong, but they're just pathing through really nicely. Does have one more heal as well for the hogs pathing around. Drops those loons in such a way they're not able to actually target the archer tower, which is what he wanted. But as you can see, it really doesn't matter as the hogs are going to continue pathing through, taking out the last 3 of these point defenses. Does still have a full health golem as well, as everything is working through here. 2 wizards up there on the northwest side, king and queen still alive, going to be able to reach a lot of stuff here from the middle, and just plenty of hogs still alive down there on the southwest as well. But still, a very cool attack here to ShyGuy, and a very good job of just doing, going back to fundamentals, going back to basics, just sending in golems in your kill squad and getting the job done. So, very cool attack. Alright, let's look at the stats. So as you can see, 35 to 33 on the 3 stars. That really was all it came down to, was we had 2 more Town Hall 10 triples than them. And, everything else was cleared very well on both sides. We did have percentage as well, which was nice, and a little bit unfortunate because we had a lot of high percentage 2 stars on their Town Hall 10s that, with a little more luck could have gone our way. But, what exactly can you do about that? I mean, we had a very good war. I won't even pretend to lie about that. We had a very good war. Huge shout out to OneHive. Thank y'all for the war as well. Thanks to my clan, once again, as always, for providing me with the great content. And thanks to all of y'all who are watching these YouTube videos and making it possible for me to continue doing so. Yeah, I mean, y'all mean a lot to me. Like, subscribe, follow, all the little whatever the YouTubers say. But yeah, it was fun, guys. It was a really fun war, and I look forward to bringing you more content in the future. But for now, do take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.